Looks like we are live. What is up, OVF? Welcome out to another Thursday night live stream training. I am one of your co-founders and one of your hosts here tonight, Chris Celeste. And as always, my partner in service, Mr. Liam Weissner, is here to deliver the value with me. Say what's up, brother.
What's going on, guys? Hey, anyone else really feeling that intro music? I mean, that countdown timer comes up and that music starts playing, and then within a few seconds it just slows down, and then it's like boom, in the zone. It's like, ooh, chill. Yeah, I like this.
Yeah.
Does it do it for you?
No, I'm glad that you brought that up because, when I first started getting online, like when I first really started putting myself on camera and like I was sweating, I was nervous. Whenever I had a countdown timer, like I just couldn't do it, right? When I was like the anticipation of watching that number countdown would like make my heart go through my chest. And so, what was really nice is that, go lives when they're done from a phone, there's no countdown timer. And so you're just like waiting, and all of a sudden it's live, and like you gotta pop into action and just be ready for it. And so I found that was actually better for me. When I just had to all of a sudden just turn it on and go, like that was more effective for me personally. I think that the idea of it just counting down for a long time for me was just kind of a daunting thing. Now I don't care. Obviously, now I'm just singing behind the scenes. I'm happy with it. But I've also been on camera like regularly for well over a couple of years now, and so I'm at home here. It's a little bit different for me. I definitely didn't start here, that's for sure. So I'm glad that you brought that up because there's so many people who are reluctant to get on camera who are kind of worried about what other people will think or what they look like to other people. And really, at the end of the day, I can go up here, laugh my ass off, look like a fool, make jokes, deliver value, and still be me and still be professional, right? So it doesn't have to always be, perfect as we always want it, right? And matter of fact, imperfect is always better than perfect because I'll tell you right now, we're all human. And if you're perfect, then what are you, a robot? I can't relate to you if you're a robot. I want to relate to somebody who makes mistakes, who needs an eraser on a pencil because shit happens. You know what I'm saying? So a little bit of a tangent there to start off the call, but a good one nonetheless, guys. And so let me pop up the comments here. You guys are dropping already. Awesome, guys. Love the engagement. As you guys know, the OVF live streams are always much more valuable and a lot more fun when you guys are engaging and we can really deliver right where you're at and give you the information you're looking for. Tonight, though, the information that we're going to share with you, I got to say, completely changed my life. Now, that's not marketing hype. That's not, boastful overstatements. That's a legit fact. And we'll get into it a little bit later into this call, used to be a miserable, broken mess of a man. And now I get to stand in front of you, a multiple business owner, multiple six-figure earner, mentor, public speaker, all the things I am today. And truly, I am telling you wholeheartedly, no lie, no marketing hype. The exercises we are going over with you tonight were monumental game changers for me to get where I am today. And so I'm really, really excited to share these things with you here tonight. I believe that they're also going to allow you to do the exact same thing that myself, Liam, and many others have done to rewrite that story and create a lifelong legacy of success. But before we dive into any of that, we always have a little bit of housekeeping that we have to do. And so I'm actually going to turn the mic over to my man, Mr. Liam Weissner. He's going to break down for you guys what StreamYard's all about and how you guys can maximize it so we can interact with you.
Do we have any examples?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay. Nope. So what you guys have to do is there is a link above where you will have to give StreamYard permission so that we can engage with you guys and see your picture that you have on Facebook. Without that, we can't see who we're talking to. And so it's less fun for us. It's less valuable for you guys because we can't communicate what we need to without knowing who you are. So just do that. It takes 2 seconds. Nice and quick.
Well said, brother. And like you can see on the screen right now, Jeremy, one of the all-stars here inside of OVF, one of the guys who jumped in both feet into the deep end. And not only did he not drown, that dude started just swimming. He just started swimming like crazy. And we love watching him succeed, but he's a great example of what, Liam was just saying, is that when you actually share with us the ability to see your likeness, we can see your name and your picture. David as well, another great example of a veteran pushing forward for his dreams. Chris Wilson, also another great example of that. And I love that Chris is also watching it on YouTube. So I want to mention to you guys really quick, OVF has an official YouTube channel. And I'll actually, where's my banners at? Let me start that up. We have an official YouTube channel. We just started it here recently. This is where all of our recordings and replays of these live stream trainings we're going to be showing up, as well as inside of our group, so you guys can always have access to it. We even, after we're done, we categorize it and break it down for you. So we have business training, mindset training, and then we have success spotlights for our veteran members. Those are the 3 core types of live stream trainings that we do. And you will always be able to find the recordings of those, again, inside the group. Or if you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you'll be able to catch those recordings, plus some really exclusive, awesome content that we're working on behind the scenes that you won't be able to get anywhere else besides YouTube. So make sure you're subscribed there. Make sure you're tuned in. Make sure you hit that little bell so you can get all the notifications. Because, guys, we are just getting started when it comes to amazing value-driven entertainment and content for you guys to enjoy and to move the needle forward in your life and your business. So, very exciting things. I do have a little bit more of housekeeping to do, and then we'll dive right in. So, first bit of business I want to talk to you guys about here really quick, and I do appreciate all the love. You guys are just dropping the comments. Thank you, guys. Do appreciate it. Yeah, absolutely, YouTube, brother. Go over and subscribe. YouTube keeps freezing. All right. Well, we also are streaming on Facebook if you need. You have to be a member of OVF to see us on Facebook. However, you can see the trainings on YouTube as well. And you can join the group if you like them. So what I was about to say to you guys is that if you're brand new to the group, maybe you've been here a little while, but you just haven't taken action yet. You wanted to see what we were all about, like many people do. Want to make sure that we are who we say we are, that we can do the things we say we can do. And that's all good and fine, right? In the world of the internet, in the world of digital business, with the plethora of scams that exist, we understand, okay? We're not going to get upset. We get it. We have just been fortunate enough that we have avoided those, and we watched enough of our friends and families, the people we love, suffer from them, that OVF was born to keep everybody from getting fucking buddy fucked, right? We want to make sure that we have no Blue Falcons inside this group, and that everybody can operate their business and learn a skill set and educate themselves without the worry of all that crap that could come when you're dealing with, unknown sources. So we get it. But what I do want to mention is that now that you've gone through the time, taken the time to understand that we are who we say we are, and we deliver on the things we say we're going to deliver on, I highly recommend that you go inside of our unit section. If you have not already, your first step is your business breakthrough training. It is a 2-hour deep dive training where we break down exactly how we bring in hundreds of new leads every single day and convert them into happy return customers. All right. So you definitely want to go check that out. Again, it's a 2-hour training. We go deep. So definitely make sure you got your notebooks, your pen, and some time to go into that, because it's going to, yeah, exactly, Liam. Always, man. You know me too. I've always got stuff around to write on. And so you'll take your time, go through that. But once you do, don't stop there, right? Take action on what you're learning. Don't just take the knowledge. As Liam's amazing post said earlier this week, knowledge is only half the equation. Taking action on the knowledge is true power. And so do something with what you're learning. Take action, implement, start to see the results for yourself. If you're having trouble getting that traction, formulating the idea, getting yourself actionable steps to move forward, we have a free 30-minute game plan call that's designed to do exactly that. I take 30 minutes. I dive deep in with you. If you fill out the pre-call assignment before we go on, those 30 minutes can be value-packed because I don't have to ask you as many questions. We can dive right into the brass tacks of how to get you there. But here's the thing. You have to reach up to be pulled up. I'm not going to be reaching out to you to give you a game plan for your business. Like, I'm not going to be more invested in your life and your business than you are. You got to show me you want it, and then I will give you the exact steps to get it. So that's what the game plan calls are for. So again, business breakthrough training, dive right in, start to learn. It's going to help you out tremendously. If you guys have been through the business breakthrough training and gained value from it, drop a 1 in the comments for me right now. Let your fellow members know it ain't no joke. Second step, make sure that you're going through the rest of our trainings. We pour ourselves into this group every single week, not just on Thursdays, but multiple days. But on Thursdays, we give you a true hour of value. And we record those and we keep those in the unit section of the group. And all you have to do is go in there and watch the replay. I mean, we have well over a day's worth of content in there that could absolutely change your life and business. So get involved, start taking action, utilize what's inside the group, get on a game plan call, and let's really start creating that post-military success for you using the skill sets of digital sales and marketing so you can explode a business that you're passionate about. And so that's my one bit of housekeeping I did want to mention. And I see some ones dropping in. My military terms. Yeah, man, this is like one of the only few places I can talk like this and not get yelled at for being me, you know? That's why we love OVF. That's why we live and breathe it. Is you guys are our people. You're not going to report me to Facebook for saying buddy fucker. You guys get it, right? So
I've got one thing to add, Chris.
Huh?
I got one thing to add.
Absolutely.
When you guys are going through these trainings in our unit sections, engage with them as if you were there for the live version, so that we can know where you're at and interact with you also. So just engage with the post and you'll get even more benefit from it.
Absolutely, brother. Well said. And I appreciate everybody who's dropping the love for the game plan calls and the business breakthrough trainings and everything that we do. You know, we do it for you guys. So when you guys take the time to say things like that, it really does mean a lot to us. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, before we do dive into the content here tonight, I have one last little bit of housekeeping, and I think this is going to get you guys really excited. So as you know, last week, David and Liam mentioned to you that Brandy has moved on to really focus down on her coaching business, and so she doesn't really have the time to be a part of the OVF, and we wish her well in all of her future endeavors. However, that does leave OVF quite short-staffed right now. You know, we are getting more members than ever before. As you guys can see, we're growing rapidly, and it's only 3 of us, so it takes quite a bit for us to keep up. And so what we're looking for is any veteran inside of the OVF who has a drive, a passion, and a desire to help their success, would like to look behind the scenes and work with us to see how that happens, get like literally under the wing tutelage from myself and Liam, and you know, actually be out there creating success for yourself and others. We have 2 positions, intern positions inside of OVF that we are opening up. All you have to do is message one of us and we will interview you. We'll get you on an interview with the team. We'll let you know what that job looks like, what, you know, we'll really talk it out and get that clarity. We're not going to like just make you blindly dive in, right? Or are we just going to blindly choose someone? You know, we take what we do here very seriously, and we want to make sure that the person who's going to be brought on does the same. And so with that being said, that's the end of housekeeping. Exactly, guys. Godspeed, Brandy. We wish you all the best. But now it's time to focus on the OVF veterans and how to better serve them. And we have a hole that needs filling. And so if you guys are interested at all, if you know somebody who would be an excellent fit, who is a veteran, again, you have to be a veteran to fill this position, then reach out to us, make a contact, make the connection, do what you got to do to show us that you've got what it takes to join the team and really start changing lives with us. So that's the last little bit I have for our announcements. We really like a little bit more housekeeping than we normally have, but all necessary, especially with how fast we're growing. I want to make sure you guys absolutely know where you can find the value and what is capable for you, what is possible for you here inside the group. Liam, before we dive into changing your story and this amazing exercise we're going to be walking on, do you have anything else that you'd like to add before we dive in?
Well, just that the people that do get selected to join us, is in for one hell of a treat behind the scenes. I mean, it's not going to be easy work all the time. You're going to have to learn everything that we're doing. And then, honestly, I think whoever ends up on our team is really going to appreciate how much work we put in behind the scenes all the time.
Absolutely.
Like, you guys don't get it. It is nonstop for us helping each and every one of you guys. We're always focusing on ways to improve and other things that we can add.
100%.
Geez, I guess we'd have maybe 100+ messages between each other every single day, at the very least, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Our messenger is always blowing up.
Yeah.
And that's just between us.
No, yeah. We have our group chat, which is constantly going, of course, because we're all working together and growing. But yeah, it's at a point now where I cannot even keep up with how many messages I have. And that's why we're looking for help, guys. That's why we want to make sure that we can fulfill on everything we promise. And, if you're willing, if you're excited about that and willing to jump on board, then let's talk about what that looks like for you and figure it out. I appreciate all the love, Chris. Thank you so much, man. David also dropped the link that will get you guys over to that free OVF training, the Business Breakthrough. Or you can find it right inside of the guide section. Just scroll right down and go to Business Breakthrough Training and just click on it. It'll bring you over to our YouTube channel where you can subscribe and watch the training. So go check it out. So I'm excited to dive in here tonight, guys. Not for nothing, but like I said earlier, what we're about to share with you cannot be taken lightly. It is simple in concept, but entirely monumentally life-changing in impact. And so the first thing I really want to share with you guys today, and I'm gonna mention something to you guys really quick, and I want to hear from you in the chat before I dive in. Do you guys know what the difference between? Do you guys know the definition of a victim? You can't give the answer, Liam. I see you about to unmute yourself. No answers from you. No answers just yet. Might have a slight delay. That is fine. Again, always your engagement is appreciated. I'm sure you guys are just typing. And again, there's a delay on my end. So again, the question is, and I'll give you guys just a moment to kind of answer it. What is a victim?
I don't know. I feel kind of guilty because I've got the Jeopardy music playing in my head. And that mixed with the negative connotation of victim makes me feel guilty.
Yeah. Ooh, we got our first example of someone who didn't give StreamYard permission. Perfect. So a Facebook user had a great example of a victim. Whoever you are, Facebook user, thank you for commenting and sharing. Please do us a favor and go up to the link, click on it, and give StreamYard permission so we can know who you are, because I really like to give you credit for this answer. Victim is someone who never owns their life. I mean, I can't think of a better definition of that. Victim is someone that has been wronged. Another very great and simple definition for a victim. I would say someone who perceives they have been done wrong might be a better definition of a victim, because here's the truth of the matter. A victim can be somebody who is never actually slighted. They can believe they're not really a victim, but they can believe themselves a victim, even though they've never actually been slighted. It's a belief system. Victims are those who are not accountable. You guys are giving great answers, and I really do appreciate you sharing. And the reason I asked that question is because I've actually done this exercise in 4 different countries around the world. And every single time I've done it, I've always had at least one person get upset, raise their hand, throw a tantrum, and explain to me that I'm not right, that I cannot be right because they are clearly a victim and what I am saying does not make sense. So let me just clear the air before we go in. Are there actual circumstances in life where people are absolutely victims? 100% yes. Rape, child molestation. These are absolute circumstances of someone being taken advantage of and a victim. 100%. We're not going to, I don't quote anything, guys. I'm very blunt, as you already know. And so I don't want you guys to, if something really fucking horrible happened to you in your life, you're a victim. Like something bad happened to you. You are a victim. Okay. You had, of no fault of your own, bad shit happened. Got it. That's okay. The best part about that is that that's not the end. And so what I'm about to explain to you guys, I hope if you have an open mind, like I did when I sat down for this, can actually change everything for you. And so there's a big difference between the event in which we become a victim because of, and then our responsibility based around that event. And so there's many different ways of calling this. One of the most popular ways of hearing this explained is victim responsible, right? The two words I just talked about. A victim is, someone who in that circumstance felt that they were absolutely wronged of no doing of their own. Correct? That's what we can agree upon that, guys. I hope. And so no matter what the circumstances is, again, I'm not here to say whether you were wrongfully accused or wrongfully done or any of those things. That's up to you to truly know in your own heart. But what I am here to tell you is that regardless of the situation, regardless of what happened, regardless if you got an IED in Afghanistan like myself, regardless if you were emotionally or mentally or sexually abused as a child, regardless of what may have happened to you, it is your responsibility to not allow it to control, dictate, and have that weight crush you in life. And if you guys get what I'm saying, drop a 1 in the comments for me right now, because we're about to get in some sensitive situations, some sensitive material, and I hope that you stay open-minded, because that is what's going to serve you best in this situation, because your best way of thinking has got you to where you are. And what I'm about to show you is a whole new way of thinking that's going to get you to where you want to go. And so stay open-minded with me. Stay with me here, guys, because I'm going to share with you something that's going to help. And I appreciate all the ones that you guys are dropping into the comments right now. And I appreciate that you guys understanding of where I'm about to go with this. So, like I was saying, regardless of the situation, COVID made you lose your job. An IED in Afghanistan left you with the TBI that makes it hard for you to learn. You were your girlfriend, your baby mama, your baby daddy, whatever it might be, ran off with the kids and took the house and left you all alone. Now you're paying alimony, right? Like 3 divorces later, you got no money left. Like all these things are happening to you. But have you yet looked at it from the light of how am I responsible? Because no matter what situation we're in, and this is going to be the hard truth and probably hard to hear, but it's the truth nonetheless. Nonetheless, in every situation, regardless how horrible, there is always a level of responsibility that one can take. There's always a level of responsibility that we can own. Jocko Willett calls it extreme ownership. You guys have probably read that book. If you don't, I highly recommend you do. It's like fucking life-changing. That dude's freaking phenomenal. All right? And so no matter the situation, look at it from the perspective of, in this situation, what can I control and what am I responsible for? Yeah, maybe you can't control the horrific thing that happened. Maybe you can't control that actual event. But you best fucking believe you can control every last minute down to every last second after that. You still have so much power. But you have forgotten about it. You have surrendered it. You have given it away. And what you can do here by looking at these events that were once ones that you looked at with words like, if that only didn't happen to me, but you don't understand yet, or you don't understand because, right? These are all things that we use when we're about to share a huge victim statement that keeps us firmly planted in our suffering right where we are. And not serving you anymore. Get rid of it, and you will be able to move where you want to go. And how we do that is by having extreme ownership, to borrow Jocko's words, and look at how we are responsible moving forward, right? I might not be at fault for my scar in my brain, but you best fucking believe I'm responsible for everything I do to empower, educate, and make myself better despite that scar. And you have that same exact power, that same exact ability. I don't care what the situation is. You can rewrite the story you're telling yourself. And that's the next thing I want to dive into. Before I do, Liam, you got anything you want to add? And guys, if something's coming up for you right now in the comments, drop it in the comments is what I want to say. Something's coming up for you right now that you want to share, maybe something that you disagree with me on or you do agree with me on. Share it in the comments. Engage. It's going to benefit you. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah. When I got hurt and got my spinal injury and was med-cept, I thought I was the victim for 7 years. Like, I just listened to whatever they told me, believed everything they told me, that, yeah, there's a possibility you could never walk again. Slight little thing that you do wrong could really upset your spine and then completely paralyze you for the rest of your life. You can't do this, you can't do that. And for 7 long years, they kept giving me the painkillers and the meds and everything. And I just went on being the victim. It wasn't until I was able to get my mind right that I was able to start realizing that, yeah, just because this happened to me doesn't mean I give up. We only have one fucking life, and we don't know when it's going to be taken away. We have no visible expiration date on us. It could happen after this call, during this call, or any time within the next 30, 40 years. Thing is, we don't know. So I figured, why would I bother wasting my time worrying about something when I could possibly not be here tomorrow anyway, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, this may come off as depressing, but yeah, I don't care if I leave today or tomorrow. I'm just going to do what I need to do until that time comes. No reason to fear anything like that in my mind. I'm just going to make the best of what I got.
No, absolutely, brother. Well said. If you guys can relate to that, I'm sure there's many people on the call. We're not the only two beat up veterans from our time in service. That's for sure. We're one of a sea of many. And so if you guys can relate to what Liam is saying right now, if you guys can relate to that, drop a 2 in the comments or drop your scenario in the comments for us. Let us know. Because here's the thing. I was the same way. When I first started having seizures at 19 years old, when I got out of the military, and the doctors told me, hey, listen, the 3-inch scar on your brain is going to keep you from being able to control your mood, remembering things. You're never going to really be anything anymore, bud. Like, I accepted that. I accepted that at 19 years old, I was going to be broken and worthless, and that no matter what I did, I was going to be fighting an uphill battle. I believed that story wholeheartedly. And for almost a decade, I was a self-fulfilling prophecy of destruction because of it. Who can relate to that? Who's gone on a destructive binge because nothing else is worth it? Because a doctor or a professional or someone you loved and cared about told you you're done, you're broken. What's wrong with you? We got a lot of comments flying in. Cut the strings a while ago. I was done with my life. Being a victim, strength, use it to empower ourselves. Absolutely. Dr. David in the Warrior Clinic. What's up? Dr. David's watching on YouTube. I can relate. I'm not a veteran, but being here right now is part of my best story. Thank you, Doc. Good to see you, man. Been a long time. Hope the Warrior Clinic's going well. I know that you guys launched that, and I just hope everything's going really well. We need to catch up real soon, brother. Today was a hard day. I'm spent, hurt, but I'm here. It's the family motivation from OVF that drives me to keep going. Always straightforward. Hell yeah, brother. Trust me, behind the scenes, we suffer too, right? Like we're human. There's days where Liam's got 102 fever and he's still showing up. There's days where this morning I had a migraine so bad I couldn't even turn my lights on, but I was still on our morning call. Like, we show up regardless, Jeremy, and I'm so glad that you embody that too, because that's really, in my mind, that's what sets veterans apart from everybody else. That's why we can be the best entrepreneurs. It's because we can push through anything. We already have all the characteristics that are necessary to be successful. We just need to learn to harness them. And that's something that we inside of the OVF have perfected. So we got Facebook user beat a kidney transplant, diabetes, and a TBI. Damn. I'm not trying to play a competition with you, brother, but that's crazy. And whenever we share stories, it's never to one up each other. It's just so you understand that we are alike. But I can't beat that. So nor was I going to try.
I don't know. Where's the double mastectomy stand on that one?
Yeah, I mean, Liam can beat you. I can't. So
I think he still wins.
Again, man, to me, it's not a competition. We all freaking suffered. Some of us a lot more than others, and a lot more than me. That's for sure. But my suffering is unique to me, just like your suffering is unique to you. It's not bigger or worse or less than anybody else's. And we all go through it in our own way. And that's why I love what I do, because no matter what your pain is, whether you deployed or not, saw combat or not, you're a veteran to me. And if I can help you in any way, mentally, physically, business-wise, like, that's my drive, right? So that's what it's all about.
I think it's important that we went through some of these hardships, because it has made us better and stronger in many mental ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We had to endure to be able to overcome it. And in a way, I'm almost thankful for getting hurt. Is that weird?
No. So this is a bit advanced, guys, so we're going to jump into something. If you guys don't know this name, I highly recommend you research it. There's a guy by the name of Dr. John DeMartini. Freaking genius. Absolute genius. And so one of the things that I've had the great privilege of doing is going to one of his breakthrough experiences. It's quite an expensive event to go to, but life-changing if you do. Actually, Dr. David was at that event with me. That's one of the ways that I know him. And so there's a thing, I'm not going to explain it all to you, but it's called the quantum collapse. And the whole idea is at the end of it, no matter what situation you were in, that you find a way to say thank you for that situation. All right. And it's euphoric. It's life-changing. I can't think of a better word than life-changing, honestly. And it's something that I highly recommend everybody gets a chance to do some point in their life. If you're not ready for that, guys, then, there's steps to get there. But, what I have found hands down has helped me and many other veterans more than anything is just starting to work on us. And I get that's a scary thing, but, it's more rewarding than anything I've ever done in my life. I've had multiple successful businesses. I've been able to have the ego, or not the ego, but the, what you call it? Can't think of the word. That you get from a crowd, that hype that you get from speaking on stage. I've had all of that, and still nothing to this day will I tell you brings me more joy and more fulfillment than watching a veteran break free from the old story to recreate one of success. That to me, that's gold. That to me is really awesome. And so I'm getting a little sidetracked here, but let's jump back into these comments real quick. Awesome, Doc. David's sharing his and guys, you can also check out these comments at any time, going back through the thread and see what the stories people are sharing. And you might even get some insightful pieces of experience or knowledge that'll help you move through yours as well, right? And there's so many of us that have been through similar circumstances that we can really help each other. And so what I really just want to, remind you guys, because we did go off on a little bit of a tangent, so let's bring it back here just a second. There's being a victim, and I'm not saying that victims don't exist. Obviously, they really do. But no matter the circumstances of whether you truly were a victim or not, it is always and 100% going to be your responsibility on how you choose to move forward, on how you choose to use that experience to either crush you and keep you down or to absolutely build you up and make you a better person. Some of the best, most successful people I know are the ones who suffered the most. I mean, they turned around and shared that story with the world to help inspire and change lives and change their own in the process. And so if you're a victim, if you find yourself saying things like, I would do that, but, or I wish I could, but, or, things along that line, I would really just encourage you, even challenge you, take a look at that actual situation that you're using to hold yourself in your current position, to keep yourself suffering, and look at it from the lens of responsibility, and watch just how fast you can change that story. And that's the next thing I really want to talk to you about.
I just want to add, just to make sure that everyone realizes this. Whenever you hear the word but in a sentence, people seem to forget this sometimes. I know I did for the longest time. But whenever you hear but in a sentence, it literally means disregard everything said right before that.
Yep.
So when you're saying, but this happened, then you're just victim and there's nothing else. That's it.
Yeah. Drop a 1, or we did 1. Drop a 3 in the comments right now, guys, if you knew that but is a cancellation word. Because it is. It is one of the easiest signs of a victim mindset.
I still have to fight myself whenever I'm having conversations with people. I actively try and remove the word but from my conversations.
Mm-hmm.
Because out of respect to the person I'm speaking to, to me, after knowing what it really means, it is almost an insult to use it with someone.
Yeah, getting lots of 3s. No, it is. It is. It can be used properly, and properly it can empower people. But for the most part, most people use it as an excuse. Most people use it to keep themselves where they're sitting. And so, we definitely don't want anybody to stay in suffering any longer. We want them to move forward and create something for themselves. And so how do we do that, right? We're talking about these things, and it's all fine and dandy to talk about it, but how do we actually change our story, right? That's the topic of tonight. How can we ensure as the author of our own lives that we are absolutely writing the best story for our future? And so let me bring you back. This is probably the best way to do this, is to bring you back. Go back to grade school. Go back to high school. Go back to when you were a child. Think of an event that happened for you that is significant to you still to this day, that you can still remember. For me, I'll tell you one. I've always had this voice. It's a blessing and a curse, right? I've sounded like a grown man since I was a little kid. I've had a really, really deep, booming voice. And so it serves me very well today. But back in school, it used to get me in a lot of trouble. I didn't know how to whisper. Apparently my whisper was a yell, whatever. And because of that, and because of my disruption, because of my voice, I had teachers who said things like, you talk too much. Stop sharing. Chris, stop talking. Chris, why are you always talking? Chris, your voice is so distracting. Chris, no one wants to hear what you have to say right now. That last one was hurtful. And so I just started soaking those things in as a kid. And you know what happened? I stopped sharing. I stopped talking. I stopped believing that I had something worth hearing. Because of an event in my life, I created a story that was not true, but that I lived by for years. For years, I thought that my greatest gift was my curse. This voice that I use to change lives and provide value, I used to believe hurt me. And I guarantee you there are some people on this call right now who can go back into their life, go back into their military career, go back into this last month and pull up an event, pull up a situation where that happened to them. If you guys know what I'm talking about, drop a 4 in the comments for me. Let me know. You guys understand what I'm talking about. We create meaning based on the events in our lives, and that story will actually dictate our actions. Maybe it was, and I'm just going to try to make some up on top of my head real quick. Maybe it was you finally got the courage to go ask that cute girl out at school or that cute boy. And they just laughed at you. They laughed in your face. They made you feel like scum. They made you feel like the ugliest, most worthless piece of shit in the world just for even asking. Right? Now, especially as a young kid, you might tell yourself a story that says something like, no woman's ever going to love me. No man's ever going to want me. Depending on the sex you love, no, I'm ugly. No one's ever going to want to be in a relationship with me. And we build this entire new story that dictates our life off of one event that actually didn't mean what we meant, what we built the meaning off of. I see some 4s drop in. Cool. You guys are relating. I love it. Awesome. Getting the 4s. We even got a good scenario here. Great. Lacey, this is the first time seeing you out. Welcome to the OVF. Always happy to see a new face. And, I want to just share what you have written for us here just real quick. In elementary, I was told I needed to quit being nosy. Ooh, that's another one. In my first year in the Marines, that same attribute got the attention of senior enlisted and complimented. Right. Attention to detail. Being in the moment, actually wanting to know the details of something could be perceived as nosy. But it also can be harnessed as one of the most amazing, situational awareness-oriented skill sets ever. Right? That's a researcher. That's a reporter. That's somebody who wants the truth, wants the details, wants to know the whole story. That's an amazing attribute. But yet, again, in school or in life, was told it's not going to serve you. Don't do this. And meanwhile, it ends up being an amazing strength later on. And I just want to say, Lacey, thank you so much for sharing that example. It was so great to not just hear Liam and I's and hear from an actual member of the group who also has gone through that. So we got a bunch of 4s rolling in still. Guys, let me know right now. Drop value in the comments if you're receiving value from tonight's training. Because here's the thing. You may have heard me talk about this on Monday. If you listened to that video, I went off on a little bit of a passionate tangent. But appreciate you guys dropping in the value there. Success is not a 100% skill set, drive, and passion-oriented equation. Drive, absolutely needed, 100%, part of the equation. However, when it comes down to it, your mindset and who you show up as and the way you perceive obstacles, situations, problems, and solutions is ultimately going to dictate the amount of success you have in your life. When you learn to rewrite the stories that are holding you back and turn them into empowering stories that propel you forward, there is nothing that will stop you. Every obstacle you hit will become a new empowering story. Every failure you have along the way becomes a new amazing learning tool that empowers you to do better the next go around. Guys, I tell you right now, there is no more powerful success mindset than this. Every single successful person I know, have researched, or have talked to does not allow themselves to ever be the victim. They take full responsibility and move forward and create the results they're looking for, despite anything else that might be going on. And if that story isn't serving them, if there's an event that has put a limiting belief in their mind that's holding them back, they revisit that event, they rewrite that story, and they abolish that thing that was holding them back. They absolutely destroy it. It doesn't exist anymore. Liam, anything you want to add?
No, I actually just got lost in your words about that. But, well, I guess when I was a kid, my dad used to always tell me whether you believe you can or can't, you're right. He used to tell me that all the time. And even with all his encouragement, for some reason, with him telling me that I could do all these things, I had this thought in my mind that I couldn't do it. Because he's telling me I can do it, that I myself just kept telling me I couldn't do it. And that stuck with me for a very long time. And it wasn't until I was in my mid to late 20s that I truly realized the meaning of that phrase and that quote, and that I could rewrite it whenever I wanted to. I just didn't realize I had the power to until later on in life. And that's one of the things I really wish I could have told my younger self, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just a huge number of things I wish I could have told myself when I was younger.
Yeah, man. It's such a powerful thing, right? It gives you power back in your life. Right? When we are a victim, when we allow life to dictate the circumstances and our actions, we don't have any power, right? We're powerless. We've given our power away.
You're just a passenger.
Exactly. You're a passenger in your own life when you play victim. Let me close my office door quick. One of the kids got hurt.
Yeah, once you realize that you're in complete control, that's when everything starts to change for you. And
Yep.
a lot of us were in complete control when we were in the military, but we might not have realized it at the time. And even now, after getting out, too many of us have forgotten that. A lot of us need to be reminded. And so that's why we're reminding all of you guys that you guys need to take the control back in your life. Don't be the passenger. Don't be the victim. Take control. Life's too short. And the only thing people ever regret is the things they didn't try, not the mistakes they made.
Yeah.
You wish they tried more things.
Yeah. Number one regret of someone on the deathbed. I didn't try enough. Not that I tried something, right? Very well said, brother. Very well said. So, guys, first of all, I really appreciate everyone's engagement tonight. You guys were on fire with the engagement. That was awesome. You guys, dropped tons of people letting us know we dropped the value here tonight. Tons of people sharing amazing insights. Guys, you really made tonight's training even better than it possibly could be with just Liam and I up here talking. So thank you for doing that and making this even more valuable for the members and for yourself. On the topic of value, I wanted to ask you guys a quick question. if you guys received value here tonight, if you found what we went through to be eye-opening and maybe even uplifting, motivating, inspiring, let me know. Let the team know. Because here's the thing I've been thinking about, and if enough of the members inside the group are interested, I'll actually go ahead and do this. So in the last 3 years of my online career, I've networked myself into an amazing group of people. Some of the most successful people you'll ever meet online, I get to call friend. And so what I would love to do is, in this particular case, one of the gentlemen that I'm thinking of is not a marketer, but he's the man who taught me exactly what I'm talking to you about here today. He is the man who, when I met, changed my life. He's a huge part of my life to this day now. And my kids even call him uncle. So if you guys are interested, and it's something that you would want to attend on a Thursday live training or maybe one of our weekend free breakouts, what I want you to do is write mentor inside the comments for me. And if we get enough people who are interested in me calling in some of my mentors to really give you guys the same exact value they gave me not too long ago, and really be able to share that with you guys on a much more detailed and in-depth level, let me know. And I'll reach out and I can arrange that for you guys to bring additional value. And I know hands down that this gentleman would love to do it. He does so much for the veteran community already. He's not a veteran himself, but his father is retired law enforcement. He understands what life and service can be. And so he wants to give back to those of us who really did sign our name on that dotted line. And so if that's something you guys would be interested in, definitely put mentor into the comments for me. And again, if we get enough people, I'll reach out. So we've got about 8 minutes left on the call. What I want to do is turn it over to you guys for any questions about the content here tonight. Anything that we may have talked about that you need clarity on before we do our outro, before we talk to you guys about some of our upcoming things that we have to keep your eyes open for, and how to best utilize resources inside the group and really make sure you're taking some actionable steps. But before we go there, before we close out for the night, I do again appreciate all of you guys saying that you received value here tonight. But let me know, do you have any questions? Is there something coming up for you, something you want to share? Drop it in the comments now, and we will address it. Do it, do it, do it. David already knows the gentleman I'm talking about, so he's excited. All right, so it doesn't look like there are any questions, which is one of two things. One, I did an absolutely astounding job delivering the value here tonight, and there are absolutely no questions. I just laid it in so perfect that you guys have complete clarity. Or two, you guys just got hit with a fire hose to the face and you're still trying to digest the information and be like, wait, what? I'm going to have to go watch the replay. Good thing you told me where to find that in the beginning of this call.
See, I knew it was coming, and it still hits me just because of the emotions tied behind everything that we talked about tonight,
Yeah.
So even knowing what was coming, it still hits you.
Man, like I said, watching veterans rewrite that story and start creating that success for them it's monumental. And I forget how much I miss this realm, this mindset, personal development, personal growth realm, because I've been out of circuit it's going to be a year next month. It'll be a year next month since COVID shut down the private events, the live events, the speaking gigs that I had. And so it's been a while since I've been able to really share the stuff that I'm so passionate about and love, because I wouldn't be me. I would not be successful, confident Chris without it. I'd still be broken, disabled, on the couch, watching entire seasons of Netflix at once because I had nothing better to do, Chris. I'd still be that guy.
That means I've almost known you a year now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of these people forget that we've never met face to face.
No. David, I met David back in September of 2020, right? Like you guys, here's the thing, and you guys could probably relate to it. It's probably why you've been on this call all the way till the end, is when you find someone who matches your energy, who thinks like you do, who is your tribe, you just want to be around them more. You want to work with them. You want to hang out with them. You want to create success with them. And so again, Liam, when I met Liam, he was a student of mine. And now I can proudly say he is a co-founder of one of our biggest accomplishments yet. And that's freaking awesome to say. And so David too. David started as a student, and now he's a vital piece of the OVF team. I don't know what Liam and I would do without him. I'm sure Liam could say the same thing. He's a huge piece of what we do.
We'd be hella busy.
Yeah.
Hella busy. Trying to fumble around and pick up the stuff that we would have to pick up the slack. And he is a major integral part of our team.
Absolutely. And that's because, much like you guys on this call, we reached out, we got to know each other, and the next thing you know, we're laughing it up and creating success together. And so we do have a couple of questions that are diving in. So before we run out of time here tonight, I do want to answer them. So Jeremy is asking, what's the best tool for scheduling that you use? So be a little bit more specific for me, brother. Scheduling my day or scheduling my appointments, like my game plan calls and things like that. Be more specific for me and I'll be able to break that down for you because I use two different softwares, one for each. Brand new and digesting. Awesome. So if you missed the beginning of the call, business breakthrough training, the 2-hour training, if you haven't gone through that yet, definitely dive right in. That's going to be the holy grail of information for you to really get moving forward. And then from there, the game plan call is your next step so we can get you actionable, customized steps to get to your results. So welcome to the group. I don't know who you are. It just says Facebook user, but those are going to be your next couple of steps. And we're really happy that you showed up here tonight. My projects have shifted and I'm having a brain fart. All right, brother. We all get those moments. We'll refocus. It's all good. What is your favorite way you are pushing your envelope now, Chris? So what is your favorite way? So how am I growing right now? I think is the question you're at. Like, how am I pushing myself currently? So right now I'm on a huge health kick. I'm about halfway through a 30-day health challenge where I took away refined sugars. I'm on only all natural supplements, tons of water consumption, a gallon a day. So that's really the one thing that I'm doing inside of that realm, other than the constant work behind the scenes of game plan calls, boot camp coaching, all the things that I do, brother. Do we have to catch up real soon, dude? We have to catch up real soon. I got to hear all about Warrior Clinic and how you're helping people there in Colorado and let you know what's going on here. So I won't talk about it much more on here, but let's definitely catch up here soon, brother. In person is tough. Digi business has helped keep me sane. If I had to go to an office and see people when I first started doing business, I would not have done business. My PTSD was way too bad for that. Like I could barely pick up a phone and make a call when I first started in business, let alone having to actually go and like prospect and talk to somebody or something. Forget that shit.
Lucky. How do you think I felt? I jumped right into door-to-door sales to get me in my comfort zone and grow.
And
that was tough.
That's the beautiful thing, brother. And I'm glad you brought that up. Because yes, you jumped in and went door to door, face to face. But even though I was scared, I didn't not start a business. I just had my heart pounding out of my chest every time I pick up the phone until it stopped. You know, like I just ran the business in fear and anxiety until it went away. Right? I just didn't let it stop me. And so, you know,
sometimes I'd see someone outside. I was like, "Ooh, those are the first people I gotta talk to." Instead, I'd pretend like I didn't see them. Take a lap around the block to build up my confidence, then go talk to them.
Yeah.
I was just going to an appointment.
Guys, we share this with you guys openly and honestly to show you we all started somewhere. Like where you are right now is no different than where we were. We just are a little further ahead We just have a little bit more time in. There is nothing that I'm doing right now that you couldn't do with some time and effort. That's the truth of the matter. And so that's why we bring it up. And so, I love it, Jeremy. Thank you. You've been crushing the boot camp, dude. And I always love your praise for that. So thanks, man. And I appreciate that, Chris. Energy. I am so excited about what I do that this is just my natural level of energy when it comes to this. Here's the question I was looking for. So Jeremy was asking before, what do I use to keep myself on task and like really schedule out my day? And so for me, number one tool I use is just Google Calendar, guys. It's free. It comes with my phone. I hate Apple. I'm sorry if you guys are an Apple lover. I hate it. And so I love Android, and I'm a big Google fan. So I have the brand new Google Pixel. And so I use Google Calendars inside of my Google phone, and I literally block out my day. Another thing that I do is I use a software called Calendly. And that actually allows me to have you guys schedule appointments with me or team schedule. And all these things can be scheduled without me being there. And it just shows up in my Google Calendar. So in the morning, when I wake up in the morning, or even the night before, I usually do it the night before. Sometimes in the morning, I do it to remind myself. But I'll pop my phone open, I'll pull up my calendar, and it'll literally tell me everything I need to do from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed. And I never miss a beat. Tells me when I have to drop my son off at school, when I have to have them awake. Guys, I have a TBI. Don't let me fool you. I forget shit all the time. That's why I write it down. That's why I schedule everything. I have built fail-safe after fail-safe to keep me in the high level of productivity that I'm in every single day. Otherwise, I wouldn't have it. So I'm telling you right now, guys, if I can do this with a crap-ass memory, you can do it too. And all it is scheduling yourself. I'm up by 5 a.m. every morning. I do my morning routine. I'm on my 7 a.m. OVF check-in call. We do a business check-in call every morning so we can keep our KPIs moving and really make sure we're delivering value as we want to be. So I'm on that call by 7. I'm off that call by usually 7:30. Make breakfast for the kids, bring my son to school. Like, I have a very scheduled, planned out day, and it's all right in here reminding me what to do. Right now it's on YouTube, but it's reminding me what to do. And it's really that simple. That's all I do. I don't overcomplicate things. Like, you can get spreadsheets and apps and all sorts of stuff to try to make yourself more productive. I just use my calendar, and it works really well for me, really well. And
There's
I have software that talks to it, so that helps too.
There's another word for that too. They're your systems. Yeah.
I just saw Chris's comment about my stacks of note cards. You guys, like, these are just game plan calls. Actually, these are all just game plan call notes. Every person I talk to, I take notes so I can understand their business and help them get the results they're looking for, understand their idea and help them formulate it into a business. Like, I wouldn't be able to remember what you're saying if I didn't write it. Oh, I remember it in the short term, but after we got off the call, I wouldn't be able to remember it if I didn't write it down. So I do these things so that I can absolutely deliver and provide you with the value I promise and that you deserve, right? I built systems I put in place to negate and work around my disabilities so that it's as if I don't even have them. Honestly, the biggest what's the word I'm looking for? The biggest sign that I even have a TBI is every now and again where I'm in the middle of a sentence and I just completely go off the rails. I can't, no matter what I've done to try to stop that, sometimes it still happens. But you know what? I'm human and I just say it's happening. And then I usually have some amazing person like Liam or someone in the chat who is more than willing to put me back on track, and I go right back in delivering value. But guys, here's the reality. I've got a TBI. I have to live with that. Am I going to let that stop me from being on camera, from delivering value, from changing lives? No. I adapt with it. I make it a piece of me. I own it, and I move forward. I rewrote the story. You see what I'm saying? How powerful that can be? So if I can leave you guys on anything here tonight, it's going to be the next time you're finding yourself in a situation where you're saying, I'd love to do that, but, or it's nice that he can do it, but take a real serious look at what you're saying after that word but, and see how you can own that situation. Take responsibility for it and then move forward. It'll absolutely change your life. So, one last thing I just want to mention to you guys here before we close it out. I appreciate your time. We did go a little bit over. So I just want to say thank you for staying with us. Hopefully it was worth it to be here for the value. One last thing I do want to say before we sign off. If you're receiving value here tonight, if you have a desire and a passion to create more in your life, then you're absolutely in the right place. But joining OVF was just the first step. You now have access to the knowledge, to the mentorship, to the people with experience who are willing to show you the way. But now it's up to you to take action. It's up to you to do what it takes to build your success. We can show you the way. We can tell you exactly what to do, but it's up to you to take action. And one of the best ways to do that is to get on a game plan call and figure out exactly what actions you need to be taking, and then just take them. And I mean, put your head down and grind. And when you look back up in 90 days, 30 days, 90 days, maybe even a year, you will not recognize the world around you. It will be like you woke up in a dream. I promise you. So Liam, close us out, brother.
Yeah, sorry. That was really powerful what you just said. And I'm glad you said that, because I wouldn't recognize the person I was just a few years ago. I'm a completely different person day after day. I'm always changing and evolving. But if I could leave you with one extra thing, is for the hats that we wear, thanks to Lee Bun, and the t-shirts that we have in the guide section, all of the profits that OVF gets goes to veteran charities. So if you want to rep OVF and feel good about giving back to your brothers and sisters, support us, support them, and support yourselves. So thank you all for spending the time, your Thursday night with us. I'm grateful each and every one of you. And if no one's told you that you can succeed, I'm giving you permission now.
Awesome, brother. I will add one thing. If you're watching on YouTube, you won't have access to the swag directly. So if you comment swag on YouTube, we'll be able to get you the link. Again, we don't collect a single cent of profit. We give it all back to charity, and we document it so you guys know exactly where it's going. So well said, brother. Thank you for closing us out, guys. Have an amazing rest of your night. Again, book those game plan calls. Let's get moving forward. But other than that, we love you. We appreciate you. And we cannot wait to cheer your success on. Have a good night, guys. Peace.